Praise be to God. Today we are going to meditate Psalm 12. Psalm 12 was written by David. This psalm starts with the disappearance of godly and faithful people. This psalm ends with the increase of lawless and deceiving people. The most apt title for this psalm is Deception. Researchers could not exactly date when this psalm was written. Researchers have listed several possibilities of the time period during which this psalm could have been written. Based on the researchers' suggestions, this psalm could have been written when David worked in King Saul's court, or when David fled from the country during King Saul's reign, or when David fled across Jordan during Absalom's rebellion, or a prophecy concerning the end times after the rapture. Many times David was deceived. I would like to narrate few incidents. Poisonous suggestions were given to King Saul by some people. Few of these people were even friends of David. They betrayed David as soon as David turned his back. The next incident is the ungrateful citizens of Keilah and Ziphites who cold-bloodedly tried to sell David to King Saul. The next incident where David was deceived was his own son Absalom plotted and deceived David to seize David's throne. Another incident where David was deceived was his friend and counselor Ahithophel deceived and joined hands with Absalom. Though David was deceived many times, which particular incident made him to write this psalm is unknown. Let me read Psalm chapter 12 verse 1. Help, Lord, for no one is faithful anymore. Those who are loyal have vanished from the human race. David could see wickedness and deception increasing, and to find a godly person was difficult. This situation has happened many times in the Bible. For example, Elijah stood alone when Jezebel's men pursued him. His cry to God was, "Even I only am left." David also felt in the similar way. The other righteous people have perished and he is the only one left. Let me read the next verses 2 to 4. Everyone lies to their neighbor. They flatter with their lips, but harbor deception in their hearts. May the Lord silence all flattering lips and ever boastful tongue. Those who say, by our tongues we will prevail, our own lips we will defend us, who is Lord over us. In verses 2 to 4, David speaks about horrible people. In verse 2, David speaks about their deceitfulness. Adolf Hitler had said, the greater the lie, the more chance it has of being believed. David speaks about horrible people who speak greater and well-calculated lies such that everyone will believe them as truth. Deception is Satan's masterpiece in the coming end of age. The parable of good seeds and the weed seeds told by Jesus explains the three stages of development of the great coming lie: sowing, growing, and harvesting. The good seed signifies the men whom God has thrown into his field, that is the world. The seeds of weed signifies the false teachers whom the Satan has thrown in the same field, the world. The small grown weed signifies the ugliness in the world today. Why does the Lord do not root out the weed? Because it's still growing. If the weed is root out, then the wheat also might be harmed. Why does the Satan do not tear the wheat? It is because God has not given him that power. So he tries to deceive by imitating God. He also sows. While the seed is still growing, he tries to deceive that wheat is not wheat and weed is wheat. When the growing is complete, the weeds are revealed totally. Sowing took place at the beginning of church age. Growing has been going on ever since. Satan's master plan of obstructing the church and hindering the work of the Holy Spirit is summed up to one word: deception. In the New Testament, the word deception comes 19 times. In all times, this word is connected to Satan and his work. Jesus said to the religious leaders of his days who were opposing and plotting his death that ye are of your father the devil. From these words, we infer that the people who have given room to Satan in their hearts are considered as the seed sown by the Satan. These people are considered as the apostles of deception. David feels such people are greater on earth, and these people build their life on lies. They deliberately and systematically speak lies as truth to deceive people. In verse 3, David prays to God for the downfall of the horrible people. God will not allow lies to prosper in the end. In verse 4, we see about the horrible people's defiance. Horrible people are the people who have given room to Satan in their hearts. The horrible people could have been the people who supported King Saul or Absalom during David's times, or the people who supported the beast during the end times. Saul and Absalom were susceptible to flattery. These horrible people spoke a lot of lies and were deceiving others. These horrible people thought no one can identify their lies and stop them. D.L. Moody had said, lying covers a multitude of sins temporarily. And Luther said, lying is a snowball. The further you roll, the bigger it becomes. We clearly see that speaking lies is the source of deception. The deceiving people are mentioned as the sons of the devil. We have to ask God to help us to speak truth in all situations, and we should also ask God to give us the discerning spirit so that we won't be carried away by the teachings of the false teachers. Thank you. Praise be to God.